somewhere in the heart of Africa on a high plateau where the winds blow cold and the mountains touch the clouds. There is a city that was once the capital of an empire so powerful it made the European colonizers tremble. They came with guns. The empire fought back with cavalry. This is Ngaoundéré, and almost nobody outside Africa knows its story. Before the Fulani arrived, this land belonged to the Mbum people. They called this place the Naval Mountain, the center of the world, and for centuries they ruled this high plateau in peace. Then in 1809, everything changed. A man named Modibbo Adama received a flag, a sacred flag, from the most powerful Islamic reformer in West Africa, Usman Dan Fodio. With that flag came a mission: build an empire across the region that would become northern Cameroon and eastern Nigeria. What followed was one of the most dramatic conquests in African history. By 1830, a Fulani warrior named Ardonjobdi had established the Lamido of Ngaoundéré, a kingdom perched on the Adamawa plateau, controlling trade routes, commanding thousands of cavalry soldiers, and ruling over dozens of ethnic groups. The empire they built stretched over parts of what is today Nigeria, Cameroon, and beyond. At its peak, it was larger than many European nations, and yet you have never heard of it. The Lamido, the king of Ngaoundéré, was not just a political ruler. He was a spiritual authority, a judge, a commander, and a diplomat. His palace still stands today, a fortress of clay and timber, surrounded by walls that have witnessed centuries of history. The kingdom controlled something Europe desperately wanted: trade, salt, livestock, and the most controversial trade of all, which funded kingdoms across the continent and caught the eye of every colonial power on earth. By the late 1800s, Germany had claimed Cameroon. But claiming it on paper was one thing. Controlling the Fulani Empire of Adamawa was another. In 1901, at the Battle of Ngaoundéré, German Schutztruppe forces marched on the city. The Lamido's cavalry met them. Warriors on horseback, armed with spears and rifles, riding against a modern colonial army. The battle was fierce, but modern weapons won. Ngaoundéré fell. But it was never truly conquered. The Lamido remained. The palace remained. The tradition remained. Here is what most history books never tell you. When the colonial powers divided Africa at the Berlin Conference of 1884, drawing borders on a map without asking a single African, the Adamawa Empire was literally cut in half. One half became part of Nigeria. The other half became Cameroon, one empire, two countries, one invisible line drawn by men who had never set foot on the Adamawa plateau. And yet, the Lamido of Ngaoundéré survived it all. Through German rule, through French mandate, through independence, through presidents who tried to erase the North from the national story. Today, the Lamido still sits on his throne. The succession law is extraordinary. The ruler must carry Fulani blood from his father's side, tracing directly back to Ardonjobdi, the founder. But on his mother's side, he must carry Mbum blood, the blood of the people who were conquered, conqueror and conquered, united in the body of one king. That is not just politics, that is philosophy. Think about what this means. While Europe was still debating democracy, the kingdom of Ngaoundéré had already designed a power-sharing system that merged two civilizations into one bloodline. While colonial textbooks wrote Africa off as a land without history, there was a king on a plateau in Cameroon, holding court in a palace older than most American cities. And while the world looked away, this kingdom survived empires, jihads, colonial wars, and a post-colonial neglect. It is still here. The story of Ngaoundéré is the story of Africa itself, conquered but never broken, divided but never destroyed, hidden but waiting to be found. This is Africa Untold, and we are just getting started. If this video opened your eyes, subscribe, because next week we go deeper. We uncover the people who lived here before the Fulani, before the Germans, before anyone wrote a single word of this history down. The Mbum people had secrets too, and we are going to find them. Africa Untold. The story continues.